Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of December 28th through January 3rd. So let me be the first to wish you a happy new year. We do have the first quarter moon that comes in on the 28th, and that can be a time where you feel impulsive, impatient. Maybe your mind's a little bit active, kind of hard to concentrate on anything. We also then have the waxing gibbous for the rest of the week, and that's a good time for a deeper understanding and outlook, a good time to act on your intuition and your introspection, but also a really good time for planning and kind of preparing for the future, showing that you're flexible, right? Making those adjustments. So it's a good time, really, if we're thinking about New Year's resolutions to, the moon energy kind of goes along with that it's a really good time for planning. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to hold your vision. And I'm kind of moving quickly through these readings. I know it's the holiday season. I know you don't have a lot of time. I also do not have a lot of time. So we will get back into the longer, drawn out, more explain. What's the word I'm looking for? Explanatory readings when January, when things are calmer and these holidays are over. So just wanted to put that in there. If it feels like I'm going fast on this reading, I probably am. So I've got a million other things that I do need to do, but I do love to touch base with you guys. So all right, let's get into this reading. Libra, December 28th through January 3rd, hold your vision. Your present energy right now is the Two of Pentacles. So you, like all of us, probably just struggling to keep everything in the air and get everything that's going. After Christmas, it's like, okay, so now it's New Year's. So if you host a New Year's party, you're trying to get food and drink and everything together for that and get the house back together after Christmas. So thankfully, that's not something that we do. We usually kind of lay low that night. We haven't really made plans yet, but we'll see where we head. But it could be you just trying to juggle. I've been telling everybody, relax a little bit. You can enjoy this holiday for yourself by just taking the time to just take a breath and relax just a little bit for yourself. Your current situation is the Chariot. So you might be juggling things because you're starting to think about some move that you want to make. And I don't mean like a move like you're going to move house, although of course that could be for some of you, but I mean like a move in life that you're thinking that there's something that you want to change. Kitty, I'm in here. I think it's so cute that the cat looks for me when he can't find me. I'm in here, Kitty, doing tarot cards. Anyway, you might be thinking about a big move that you want to make, and this could be something in the resolution front, some big change that you want to make in your life. When as the new year comes about, things that you're going to do, but you're kind of in information gathering mode when it comes to that. At the root of your situation is the Hanged Man, so you've definitely picked up some new perspective. There's some new way as you've gone through these holidays that's making you think, okay, I want to make some sort of change in whatever area of your life that might be, and that's good. New perspective means you've learned something and you're just trying to implement that, so that's never a bad idea. What is just behind you is the Queen of Pentacles. So you've just come out of a phase where you just really have an understanding of the material world, how things work. This means you're probably managing your money well. You're, all the things that come about with Christmas, with, gifts and new things and items and all the shopping and things that happen. You're one of those people that, you're probably one of those people who at Thanksgiving was like, well, I have missed my shopping done. I'm never that person. I'd love to be that person. I aspire someday to be that person. And that might be you, that you're just like, well, I have all of my things done. And the rest of us are super envious. What is on your mind this week is some sort of ending here with this 10 of swords. And it could just be the year. Of course, we're wrapping up a whole year. And you might be like, oh, thank goodness this is done and over. And let's start fresh with the new year. Again, new perspective, new year, thinking about some changes that you want to make, and the moon energy is right on target for you to do that right now, to be thinking about those things. What is just ahead of you this week is the 7 of swords. So there might be some situation where you have some information and you might leave a couple of you know, again, all this information, let's say you have 7 bits of information and you're going to leave 2 of them. You're going to hold on to the rest. You're going to hold some things kind of close to your chest, right? You're not going to give all the information. And it could be maybe this move that you're thinking about. Maybe someone, this is just an example, of course, but someone asks you, you know, are you thinking about going on vacation or going, let's say there's a group cruise, and are you thinking about going on that group cruise with everybody? And you might really not want to do it, and you say, well, I'm trying to check into, you know, can I get that time off of work, and is my vacation schedule and you know, the money part of it, let me check into that. But you're kind of holding the rest of this information close to you, which and that information is, I really don't want to go on this cruise with this group right now. You know, we have other bigger vacation plans, and I don't really want to let that cat out of the bag, right? So I kind of get that feeling that that might be something where you don't want to show all of your cards this week to maybe a particular person or to a group. And your advice position is the high priestess. So, and that's okay. Your intuition is kind of guiding you at this time. So that's okay if that's an intuition that you're having is let's not quite put all that information. You may not even understand why, but of course your intuition definitely knows why, that you don't want to give all that information out just yet. So hold on to things that you want to and really trust your intuition. If your gut is like, nope, be quiet, we're not going to talk about that, then go ahead and listen to that gut feeling that you're having. What is beyond your control this week is the moon card right by the high priestess, which I feel like these cards are just, they're just so married to each other. They're both the same kind of energy. It's about things that come to you in the night in some mysterious way. And the moon card is the same thing. It's about trusting the signs of the universe, the synchronicities, but also your intuition. Both of these cards are about paying attention to dreams that you're having. You know, those are clues, and they're there to tell you something about something. So when you're having some feeling and some intuition, go ahead and make sure this is like, I mean, this is telling me, yes, do this. And this card is like extra, it's just extra energy on top of that to really trust your intuition this week. Okay, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the 9 of Cups here. So, you know, is it your secret desire to feel a sense of contentment and maybe a little bit of self-indulgence, or are you trying to avoid both of those? Either is fine, but you need to ask yourself, that'll be a big question for you this week, is to ask yourself that, you know, if it is your secret desire, if you're trying to avoid, and then not only ask yourself those questions when with whatever card is in this position, but try to answer that as well and understand the reason behind the answer. So, are you, if you're trying to avoid feeling contented, ask yourself why. Would you deny yourself that? And if there's a good answer there, you're learning about yourself, right? In your outcome position, Libra, is the 5 of Cups, which you're not the only one. I feel like maybe, was it Gemini way back, might have had that same, somebody had that same ending. You know, this time of year can also, anytime we have endings and the year comes to an end, we do start to reflect back, and some of the things we're reflecting back on probably aren't that great. You know, some things that happen that are sad or disappointments. So, you know, go ahead and touch on those things and remember and feel those things, and then let them go. Let them go, because we want to make room for new and better things in the year to come. All right, what is hidden from you this week, Libra? Is the Knight of Wands. So this would be some sort of, you know, action on the passion front, which I'm not really seeing from you this week. I mean, I'm seeing you be pretty contented and almost thoughtful and pensive as you're thinking about some things, but do remember to trust your intuition and gather information on whatever this is. But you're also going to kind of, again, just kind of keeping everything afloat. Whatever vision it is that you're having, which probably has more to do with this Hanged Man and this perspective change, make sure that you're holding on to that. I mean, your card literally says, hold your vision. Sometimes when life is a little harried and crazy, and like it might be this week for you with New Year's, you might have an idea and then it just kind of fades off. So if you're like me, I have to write everything down, or I mean, I type these little documents on my computer, and I may not find it for a couple weeks later and be like, what is this? What is this thing I put here? Oh, I remembered. I wanted to accomplish this thing, or do this thing, or read this book, or listen to this lecture, or, you know, so make sure you're taking notes. If you're having some sort of vision, you need to hold that vision, and sometimes that is harder to do when life's a little crazy. So let's wrap this reading up, Libra, with a soul oracle card for you. Soul oracle for Libra, December 28th through January 3rd. And your card is Forgive and Forget. And that really could be this right here. Forgive and then forget. It's time to move on. Whatever, whatever that thing that's making you feel a little bit sad at the end of the week. And we all have that. When you look back on a year like that, when you're being reflective, not everything was great. And you're like, I don't want to repeat of that one this year. So forgive and forget and move on. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Libra this week. And the card that you get is the card that says security. True security comes from having a reserve of time, space, energy, personal power, and love. Make deposits in all of these accounts and you'll be a wealthy person indeed. So make sure that you are making deposits in all of your accounts, not just the financial ones, but with the people that you love, and also in the spiritual realm as well. Make sure that you are listening to to your intuitions, to your dreams, to those signs. And then I definitely thank the universe, make sure that you're making deposits in that spiritual account as well. So Libra, thank you so much for being here. Once again, I want to wish you a very happy new year. Again, the readings I know are quick right now for the holiday season, but next week we'll slow down a little bit, take a breath, and just really enjoy our time together. So thanks so much, Libra, and I'll see you next week. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.